In the last video, Lee at the NZ Transport Agency gave us a few great tips. But before you start, you need to think about exactly what the problem is that you're trying to solve. Hi Victoria, I'm Jerome.
Nice to meet you, Jerome. Come on, follow me this way.
Thanks for meeting up with me.
No problem.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do at the New Zealand Transport Agency?
Certainly. So my official title is Senior Advertising Advisor, and I work and manage a number of different road safety advertising campaigns. Some of them you may have seen, some of them you may not have. The lead campaigns I work on are young drivers, seatbelts, cycling and vehicle safety.
So you work on advertising campaigns?
That's correct,
Awesome. So tell me about something that you've done recently.
I've done a campaign, it focuses on parents of young drivers, and basically what we know is that parents of young drivers are very influential in helping protect their young people. So the real target audience, I guess you could say, is young restricted drivers, but we're focusing on the parents because we know that they help protect young people. And what the campaign focuses on is getting young people to abide by the restrictions of their licence conditions. And we know that when young people don't do this, or young restricted drivers don't do this, they put themselves at risk.
How did you figure out that you needed a campaign to focus on the restricted drivers? So how do you go about defining the problems that you want to take out?
Yeah, good question. It's really important that everything we do is evidence-based. So I just don't make up a campaign and think, I think I'm going to focus on young drivers because I think they're a problem on the road. We look at our deaths and serious injuries and we say, actually, we know young drivers are disproportionately overrepresented in deaths and serious injuries. And then we look at the data further and then we say, when's the most likely time they're going to be involved in a death or serious injury? And it's really clear that it's the first 6 to 12 months of when they're driving solo, and it's the period of the greatest risk.
So do you have any suggestions about how we go about defining a problem?
Definitely. I think you should always go and look at the data first of all. So ask yourself the questions, where can I get that information from? Is it something that SAD provides for you in terms of a package looking at data, or do you need to connect with your local road safety coordinator or local police support that can help provide you with that information? And once you've figured that out, there are some key questions that you should be asking of yourselves, and we like to call those the 5 W's. And these are specific questions that help you understand your campaign or your road safety issue. So the key questions are, what's your specific problem? Who's involved? What do you know about them? When's something happening and where is it happening? So once you unpick all of those questions, then that will help you understand the problem a little bit more and who you're targeting also. When we design a campaign, we need to make sure that it links very closely with Safer Journeys. Safer Journeys identifies the priorities for road safety.
So is that kind of like our 6 principles here at SAD?
Definitely, that's exactly like that.
So your first task is to define your problem. Be as clear and specific as you can be. So use the 5 W's. Why is it a problem? Who is involved? What the problem is? Where and when? Also, don't forget to use your hard copy resource.